daughter of the Zezuru royal family of Zimbabwe and the Khoisan of Cape Town, South Africa, is now back in her courtroom with a lot of gratitude. Oh God! I went through an amazing transition and initiation process. Amazing as it hurt like hell. It hurt like hell, and it shouldn't have, but it did. I mean, that is the metaphysical, right? I got washed and washed and washed. I got washed in rivers. I got washed in tubs. I got washed in streams. I just got washed, and I really wanted to record it all, but there was an objection of a no, because we are a very secretive people. And our rituals, especially the very important ones, are extremely secretive. In fact, they held a meeting where they told me that I had no filter and I was sharing too much. Yes, they did. They held a meeting and told me that I had no filter and I was sharing a little bit too much for their comfort. And I hear what my elders are saying. I hear you with a whole lot of respect, and I will try to abide. Okay, however, I think I can tell you all that I got washed with a chicken, a real life chicken. Okay. I remember after that ceremony, I was quiet all the way back to my aunt's house, Tete Retina. I was quiet, and my cousin was driving, and he was all quiet, and we were both so quiet. Then eventually, after dinner, I looked at him and I said, I just got washed with a chicken. A live, cackling chicken. And we burst out laughing.
Back door.
And we burst out laughing. That's how traumatic that was. I cried almost every day, but I learned so much. I learned so much about my people. I learned so much about my culture, and I learned so much about being a witch doctor. And I was being washed so much because apparently when good things are about to happen to a human being, and I was going to go through a ceremony, right, after 21 days of washing and so on. I was going to go through a ceremony, but apparently when good things are about to happen to a human being, okay, apparently the bad vibes get there first. The bad spirits. For us, we call them the bad winds. The winds. Because the winds carry everything metaphysical and bring it to you. So the winds get there first. So it's like, you know, when you're so sure you're going to get a job, and then you don't get the job, and you're like, what happened? I interviewed so well. I did everything I was supposed to do very, very well. And you're just like surprised. Those are the bad winds, right? So they had to make sure that I go through my ceremony without the bad winds getting there first and ruining it. Then when I did get to the ceremony, people, I was like expecting like a 10-hour ceremony, because I'd slept outside. I'd slept under trees, under rocks. I had been washed and washed and washed. I went through a lot. So I was expecting the final ceremony, the actual ceremony where, that I was preparing for, to be like 10 hours. And guess what, people? It was a mere 15 minutes. God. I was like, we're done, and they're like, you're done. Anyway, I'm still going through stuff, and I'm still working with the 5 witch doctors that worked with me for my ascension into a higher power witch doctor. I'm still working with them for a little while, so I guess it's not really done until it is done. The most painful part, the most emotional part, well, obviously the washings, because I would get a reading from a witch doctor before, and I saw amazing gifts. There is the witch doctor who made me wash my hands in water and tobacco, and she told my whole story from the water. Okay. There was one witch doctor who poured water and tobacco all over me. I was drenched right to my panties. And this is winter, guys. And it is freezing cold. I was like, "Ugh!" And she read me while I was wet because that's what she does. Then there is the witch doctor who is like me and he uses hakata, but it's a different kind of hakata. He uses wood and I use shells. And he kept saying to me, "Are you reading?" And I'm like, "No," but I was kind of reading. I was kind of cheating and I was kind of reading with him. The good thing is what his ancestors showed him was not what my ancestors were showing me from the same hakata. But I cried a lot of pain. Yeah, a lot of grief. And I didn't think I was strong enough and I didn't think I had the energy and I completely thought I was going to lose it at some point or other. But I'm here now and that's all that matters. And then I wasn't sure I would be back to do these readings because a couple of my ancestors objected to me doing YouTube. And a couple said it was okay for me to do. So I wasn't even sure I would be able to stand here or sit here in my courtroom in front of you all and, do this. I wasn't sure. There was a debate about it because we all witch doctors vet the people they work with. You have to suit what their ancestors like for them to work with. So the big $1 million question was, you're not vetting these people. And I kind of said, well, they're kind of vetting themselves. Those who come to me know they're for me, and those who don't know they're not, But I hope they will. Okay. But anyway, I'm back. So I guess the ancestors who thought it was okay for me to do approve. And the most painful part after the ceremony was obviously the one I knew would happen. I was told that I was going to lose some people who were never meant to be in my life but somehow snuck into my life. And they may have looked like they were good for me, but they came with the bad winds. And since the bad winds have been beaten by chickens and water, okay, they're going to carry the people they brought with them to my life out of my life. And they told me I was not allowed to chase these people no matter what, that they will just vacate. They also told me that these people will be anxious before they actually leave. They'll be anxious about your transition. They'll be saying they have bad feelings about the transition and you're supposed to allow it to happen. And I lost quite a few people that I really cared about. I really cared about everybody that I lost. Everybody. So, yeah. So, that's exactly what happened. They literally talked themselves out of my life. I was speechless. I'm laughing now, but I laugh at everything. I laugh at everything bad. I laugh at everything painful. What was it that's an Indian fellow psychic once said to me? And that's how I release bad and good energy, through laughter. So yeah, so they kind of talked their way out of my life and I'm still speechless. And unfortunately for them and me, it's permanent. It's forever. We can never talk again. We can never be friends again. Because they were not brought into my life via the good winds, and they came via the bad winds. And when the bad winds were beaten to pieces, they left with the bad winds. So yeah, that was the bad thing. But now I hope the good winds do deliver some great things. I'm expecting great things for myself this year. I really am. From a psychic perspective and a professional perspective and a personal perspective. I really think I'm going to be looking at a penis every day. I think the penis is God's gift to woman. I really do. And I really believe I'm going to be staring at my very own penis on a male body this year. I also believe my books are going to sell out and I'm going to be a multi-millionaire this year. And I also believe I am going to expand my psychic ability and help more people this year. I also think that I'm going to move from this raggedy ass house to a mansion this year. Because, I had a whole lot of bad winds beaten out of me. And, now the good winds can get to work. I believe. I have to tell you that if any of you ever find your way to Hamilton, Ontario, and I see some bad winds on your asses, I'm gonna beat those bad winds with cold Hamilton, Ontario water. Anyway, back to business. And I have a new instrument. A walking stick that is also a knife. I'm that bitch now. And so I decided to do Monique because it's Monique, and she was on my list, but I just landed and I have no idea what's going on in this world. I really don't, because I had no internet, I had no electricity, and I was living in the metaphysical every single day. So I have no clue what's going on. But I decided to do Monique. Alright, so Monique is the bitch. And the reasons I decided to do Monique is because I feel her. Okay? When she started fighting for a pay raise, this is my opinion. Okay? I totally felt she was purely about herself. But then when I came back, I was lying there. I'm still suffering from jet lag, but I was just lying there. And I saw on my YouTube feed, all these Monique things. And she cried about Oprah. She cried about Whoopi. I don't know what she said about Charlemagne the God. I didn't get to watch that. But then I decided, well, this is a good time for me to do her. I haven't unpacked yet, so I'm still using my old camera. I'm a bit pissed with me for not unpacking, but it takes me time to get it together. I just wanted you guys to know that I am back. So I'm gonna do Monique and her career and where she is taking her activism and who she is. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so as you all know, a bitch gonna shake her shells. I actually got new hakata from Africa. I got new shells, land shells from Africa and so on. But I haven't done the ritual yet to give them over to my ancestors. So in a few weeks, you will definitely be seeing a new addition to the family when I get it together. Because I'm still going through rituals to end my transition ceremony and all that jazz. Okay, so how have you guys been? I hope each and every one of you has been very well in this world. Oh my God, before I even begin, I want to thank my tetere Tina and my cousins for taking such great care of me. I am blessed to be born to such a people, and I hope next year Cape Town and my other relatives, the Khoisan, will take as much care of me as this side has. So thank you, Tete Retina. Without you, I would not have survived these things. I remember, you guys, when my cousin and I were laughing about me being whacked with a chicken, being bathed with a chicken, because chickens but chickens are the fighters of bad winds. They're the fighters of bad things, right? So so when I was when we were laughing hysterically about the chicken business, my aunt just walks in and she's all normal and stuff, and she says, what's up? And we're telling her, I got washed with a chicken, and she said, yeah, that happens to every witch doctor as they transcend. It's normal. And she walked out. And then she comes back and she says, my brother's daughter, my brother's baby, you are really going through some shit that you never knew existed, aren't you? Okay, I've taken too much time talking about my experiences. Alrighty, so, Monique. I'm calling Madame Monique. 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 This is a larger than life woman. I mean, in every way. She's as fat as me, but she, oh my God, there you go. She cannot be contained. She has a huge, larger than life personality. She is very angry right now. She is a very angry woman, very disappointed. She feels a huge amount of betrayal, right? She feels the world let her down. She feels that people who should have been there for her were not there for her. But underneath all that is greed, an insurmountable amount of greed. She wants it all. She will take it out of the mouth of a babe. You know, she's very much like Oprah, the woman she's fighting with. If that makes sense for those of you who watched my Oprah one. She's very much like Oprah, the woman she's fighting with. She wants it all. She fights dirty. She does dirty stuff. She is not pleasant. She's not pleasant. In fact, her husband is the people person, because she and her husband have been together for a very long time. They're like best friends, childhood friends or something, because she's holding his hand and he's walking behind her. And her husband is her exact opposite. He is a people person, a people pleaser. He is always willing and happy to share. But this man is a rock to his wife. He holds her together, but interestingly enough, he doesn't have the reins to this marriage. She does. Okay. She has the reins to this marriage. He doesn't. Yeah. Shocking, isn't it? I'm very surprised. But she is the dominant partner in this situation, and he is the non-dominant partner. He is terribly unambitious, and that's the way she wants him. So I'm gonna take Monique out of the plate and throw her on this right here table, and we're gonna see. I think from her personality, and while she's still in my plate, because now I'm very elevated like that, I can tell you that what she's doing, fighting for equal pay, it's not an altruistic thing. It's not a thing that she's doing for every woman. She's doing it for herself. She genuinely felt that the Oscar elevated her to earn a whole lot more money. And because she's black, and she says it, because she's black and she's fat, she's not getting the money, and she's not getting what she expected. So she's gonna fight like hell. She's gonna fight like a bitch. She's gonna fight like, you know those dogs, she's actually saying like a pit bull terrier. She's gonna fight like a pit bull terrier to get what's hers. Do I personally have anything against that? Oh hell no, I don't. I hope she wins for all black women in the entertainment industry. Okay, so this is Monique. My very first reading since coming back was, yeah, it is my first reading since coming back. And I hate to tell Monique this, but her career is failing. It's on its way out. She's got two triangles here. One triangle, right? And another triangle going that way. And in both directions, it means complete failure. Complete. She is also, though, a very wealthy woman. She has a lot of money, right? And she will continue to make money. right? She is going to make money in the black community only. She will continue to do what she was doing before in the black community, and she will make lots of money. She has also become a hero to black people, and a lot of black people who didn't have time for her are going to have time for her. And that is ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, she has a good kitchen here. This is a whole little triangle of money going in the right direction. She's also going to become a community leader, something she never used to think about or care about. She was never into equal rights and so on, but her fight for money for her personal gain, which is perfectly fine, I don't have issues with that, is actually going to make her a community leader. She's going to start getting more involved in civil rights issues, and she's going to, well, her career trajectory has changed, literally. Hollywood is behind her now. They seriously don't want to see her again. She has broken a lot of rules and regulations and a lot of gates and so on. They're not interested in that woman anymore. But she will continue to make money, a lot of money. But for a while there was no money. As you can see, for a while there will be no money as she makes the transition. But she'll get there in a blaze of glory as an activist of African American rights and as an entertainer of African American people. So Monique is going to move from mainstream, where she was really going, and she's going to be going to non-mainstream African American strictly. She's also lost friends, people who tried to guide her and talk to her about this mess, but she wasn't listening, right? So now I'm asking, what would they say? A male friend in his 60s. I know this is going to sound weird, but I'm just going to say it because that's the name that came to me, and I'm an elevated witch doctor now. Steve Harvey said to her she was asking for too much too soon, that she just had to sit it out and wait. So now the elevated witch doctor is asking, is this true? And there's a definite no. Monique's management is the reason why she was not going to make the amount of money that she was supposed to make. Her management is family members or something, and they just don't have enough connections, and they just don't know enough people to push her paycheck. That's just sad. So basically, it's being said here, if Monique fans are listening, if Monique had changed her management team for another management team, she may have made the money that she was hoping to make. Okay, so where are we with Monique? She really has a pretty boring life. Okay. She has this husband, and they really love each other. She controls this marriage. This is Monique. This is her husband. She controls this marriage. They have kids whom they love very much. And there's a lot of love in this house. I don't know if Monique and him had 2 kids before and then had a younger kid. Like, seems like they had 2 kids before, or a pregnancy and a kid, or one of those things, but they had 2 kids before, waited many years before they had this youngest kid, and they are very happy. They are a whole lot closer to this youngest kid because they've got more time to take care of the youngest kid and be with the youngest kid than with the others. That right there is what's coming up. They are a close-knit family, and she gets her strength from these people. She She works for these people. She's focused on giving her children the best existence and the best lifestyle and the best everything, and she's going to succeed. She's actually going to become more outspoken, but within the black community, and black communities are going to pay more attention to her than they were before. She has transcended from an entertainer, like I said, to an activist. Okay, there's really nothing much. So how about we go to Monique and Oprah's relationship? Okay. Her husband is extremely loyal to her, so he may have side bitches, but he intends at this point in time while I'm sitting here to stick by his wife till the end of his days. So if you're like his side bitch and he's telling you stories, he ain't gonna give it to you. But oddly enough, though, you are one side bitch. Like, basically, this guy doesn't cheat. Do you know? He doesn't cheat. But she seems to give him the, as long as I don't know, do you. And he doesn't do the same with her. Okay? He is, I will kill a motherfucker if they touch you. Right? And she's okay with that because she's not very sexual. He is sexual. She's not very sexual. Right? So he is very possessive of his wife. But she's okay with that because not a lot of people have seen Monique's drawers. Not a lot of people have seen this woman naked. She's just not into it. Only with her husband, but she's just not into it. But he has had one or two side chicks, right? He has had one or two side chicks that he makes do things that he will never make his wife do. Like anal. I just saw that. You know, he will never ask his wife to do anything that makes her uncomfortable, so he takes it elsewhere. And she's very happy with that. This is a solid marriage. It's actually one of the best marriages I have seen. This marriage works. This marriage is tight. It's tight. It works. This is a couple that know each other, love each other, are devoted to each other. Seriously. So if you ever had any doubts, doubt no more. Okay, but you know what I always say? Maybe one day he will meet a Katozinya. And the Katozinya will take what's not hers. Okay. Anyway, let's take Katozinya. For those of you who don't know, that's African for much younger females who intentionally date much older men. We call them Katozinyas. Okay. Alrighty. So now let me check to see the relationship that made Monique cry. That was Oprah. Without even taking it out of my plate. Oh my God, being a transcendent witch doctor is brilliant. Okay. It's brilliant. Woo, let me celebrate it. See, I can't even. Damn it. Okay. I'm celebrating this elevation, but guess what? I'm still not strong enough to open it. Okay. So, without even taking it out of my plate, I can answer this question without even having to call Oprah, because I called her once before, and being a transcendent witch doctor, it appears that I now have her on call. I wish that could happen in real life. Anyway, she is upset because she thought that Oprah would have her back. The story she's telling about what happens between her and Oprah is not all of it. Okay, it's not all of it. There were more conversations between Oprah and Monique. There were more conversations where Oprah ding, 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 was trying to build Monique, where Oprah gave Monique a strategy, where Oprah tried to talk to Monique, like say to her, I'm a billionaire, but I had to go through some things, and I suggest you do this, you do that, where Oprah even said, you need new management, right? But she needs to keep her husband busy and employed, right? And she's happier the way things are. There were many conversations where Oprah thought she was mentoring Monique. Many conversations. So Monique is just picking the conversations to discuss that put Oprah in a bad light and her in a good light. So this is the relationship between Oprah and Monique. And as you can see, Eshelle fell. Eshelle said, bitch, please, there ain't no relationship. This is a relationship full of violence and betrayal. While I'm holding this shell, Oprah says she feels betrayed by Monique. She was trying to help her, but that's not how Monique saw it. She was trying to be a great friend to her and trying to show her this is the way the world works and trying to give her a perspective, and instead Monique threw her under the bus. Let's change hands. Monique, on the other hand, is saying that Oprah made promises to her that she would help her when she started fighting for more money and so on, and Oprah rescinded the offer by disappearing. It says Oprah stopped taking her calls. Oprah stopped talking to her because Oprah felt that she had handled these things badly. She says Steve asking her to come on to his show was because Oprah asked him to, because Oprah was still trying to intervene. But bitch, if you ain't trying to help, don't try to intervene in my life. Okay. And this is the relationship now. There's no relationship, but now one of them still has a lot of love for the other. One of them is still seeking an appeal to the other. Let's see who's doing that. That would be Monique. Monique is seeking an appeal from Oprah. This is Monique. This is Oprah. Monique is on Oprah like this, still trying to talk to her. Oprah is looking the other way. She's like, bitch, we've moved on. We have so much, I have so much going on, and what happened between us is way in the past. Like, oh, please. It's way in the past. We've moved on. But Monique is still holding on, and Monique is still wanting to talk, and Monique still feels that if Oprah can just stop turning her back on her and talk to her, she will get what she wants. Monique is actively pursuing Oprah, which shows that all the discussions she's been having about Oprah have been trying to get Oprah to react, but Oprah is not going to react. Mama, forget this one. This ship has sailed. Forget it, Mama. It's not going to happen. Oprah is not going to help you because Oprah felt like she did as much as she could. She feels like you don't listen. She feels like you're too stubborn. And she feels like you did very immature shit that in business cost you. And that's exactly what has happened to you. So, Mama, forget that. It's not going to happen. This is a dead relationship. Oprah is not going to pay attention to you. And you can keep talking about it. But it is dead. Okay. The future. Will Monique get any film roles? So she's a brilliant actress. Will Monique get any film roles? 1, 2, 3. Will Monique get any film roles? Yes. That's wonderful. Yes. Yeah. Monique is going to get film roles. Monique is going to act again. She won't really like what she's getting, but she will do it. They are not A-list movies. I'm seeing them more like movies for African Americans only. But she's going to get film roles. Yes. I'm going to ask the question, is she going to make up with Tyler Perry? Because she really insulted Tyler Perry. Monique is Tyler Perry. Monique. Now Monique comes into my plate crying because it's about Tyler. Okay. Now let's ask Tyler to come into the plate. Tyler. Oh, Lord. I was about to say a very angry Tyler has stormed into the plate and a shell fell. All right. Yeah, he's not feeling her. He is very angry with her and he is doing the Oprah on her, but he is very angry. However, so I put my hand on the plate, I can see that the anger will die down. He will sympathize. Tyler Perry is actually a man who will give second chances if you deserve second chances. He will listen to you again if you deserve to be listened to again. Okay, he is going to give her a second chance. So she may actually be appearing in some of his movies. Not right now. It's gonna take a couple of years or so. Yeah. He actually has an ingrained kindness within him, and he will go the extra mile to help a bitch if he already hasn't gone the extra mile to help you. And the most important and special thing about this man is that he's very forgiving. He is extremely forgiving. She has better chances of making Tyler hear her out. Yeah. Then Lee Daniels. Let's ask about her relationship with Lee Daniels. I was wondering who the other guy was that she threw under the bus. Monique. I resigned, Monique, because I just mentioned Lee Daniels' name. She's just like, ugh. Okay. Let's see what Lee Daniels has to say for himself. Lee Daniels. Also resigned. But I'm going to take Lee Daniels out of the plate because he has something to say. So, the relationship between Monique and Lee Daniels. He actually has something to say. Okay, that relationship is dead. It is extremely dead. And it took a while for it to die out. But it died. It died because he says Monique talks too much. Monique doesn't know how business works. Business on a certain level. And she ruined her chances of the world taking her seriously or of even making money. She says you have to be successful, there are certain sacrifices you have to make. He says that. To be successful, there are certain sacrifices you have to make. Monique was not willing to make those sacrifices. And nobody is trying to work with somebody who doesn't want to make the same sacrifices they made to get to where they are, right? So basically, we all had to do it, so she had to do it too. She had to work for free. She had to take pay cuts. She had to do certain things, right, to create a different reputation. At every stage of your career, you have to take pay cuts and stuff like that to create a different kind of reputation. You ain't trying to have anything to do with Monique. Nothing. But it seems she also reached out and he reached out. They tried to talk it out. They really tried to talk this out. And he put in more effort, more work than everybody else into reaching Monique, but he failed. He says she's greedy, she's selfish, and she doesn't understand. And he says underneath all that anger is a lot of pain. This woman has been abused a lot and he hasn't been abused. So he doesn't understand it. But she had a very abusive childhood and it has affected the way she views the world, and he ain't trying to help her. He ain't no counselor. He couldn't care less. He says he came from a wealthy family. He doesn't give a fuck about those who had to strive from the ghetto to make their way to the top. Yeah, he says we all have issues. He has his own issues. She has hers. Let's go to Monique's childhood, because I didn't really go to her childhood. Let me go to her childhood, since it was pointed out. Monique, take us back through time. Take us back through time. Ooh. There was a lot of physical, sexual, and mental abuse in Monique's household. It wasn't just her alone who went through it, it was almost every member of the family, and this is a never ending circle. At some point, Monique got pregnant as a kid. She must have been 13, 14. She got pregnant as a kid from the abuse. Somebody who was attached to her mother, like a boyfriend or something, knocked her up, or her dad maybe. But it was a man attached to her mother, and he knocked her up. And she must have been about 13 or 14. In this situation of sexual abuse and physical and whatever abuse by men carried on. No, this is a nice little circle, right? It continued. She eventually broke away from this household and these people, and she does talk to some family members, but they're the minor ones. She blames her mother a lot for what she went through, which I would too. Okay, I would too. She has two particular memories of her worst sexual abusers. The one who got her pregnant when she was like 13, 14, and the next one who got her pregnant when she was like, no, sorry, didn't get her pregnant, but the next one who came after, when she was like 15, 16. She can still remember what they did to her and how they did it. And as I'm talking about her and she's looking at her past, because this is Monique, she's looking at her past, she says to me, that's why I hoped that Oprah would understand my fight and my struggle, because we've both been sexually abused. We've both gone through this issue. That's why we are both fat. We eat our pain away. So I was hoping she would understand that. She would understand me. She would be a good friend because we connected on a deeper level than everybody else. But Oprah doesn't connect with anyone. Oprah, her abuse. These are Monique's words. Oprah, her abuse disconnected her from the whole world. Disconnected her. She's fake, fake, fake. Whereas me, I am still connected to humanity. Does this witch doctor agree? Well, she agrees that Monique is very connected to humanity. When she saw that she couldn't get the amount of money that she required because she was black and she was female, she decided, when she started talking to others and she realized that they were in the same boat, she removed herself from her selfishness and decided to make it a national platform. Oprah would do the same thing, actually, thinking about it. You know, Oprah makes things into national platforms, right? So I don't know if they're that different, in my witch doctor's opinion. I don't know. I think these are two personalities who are very much alike. Very much. I don't know. But she feels very hurt about Oprah. She cries about it, which is interesting. She doesn't give much thought about Lee Daniels, but he gave more thought about her. She doesn't give that much thought to Tyler Perry, but he gives more thought to her. She does give a lot of thought to Oprah. She loved her. As girlfriends, you know, as two females who connect, nothing sexual there. She loved her, and the feeling must have been mutual, but then what happened was they had a difference of opinion and they went their separate ways. But these two characters are very much alike. People who are very alike don't usually make the best of friends, okay? They don't. they tend to fight more than they make the best of friends. Because in friendship, you're supposed to be different. You're supposed, one's strengths are one's weaknesses, and one's weaknesses are one's strengths. You know, there isn't a dominant partner and there isn't a submissive partner in a friendship. You're both equal, you know. But in this case, there was a bit of a power struggle between these two women. And Oprah was the stronger one. If only Monique had realized that. I can't think of anything else to say because, as I said, I'm really jet lagged. I just wanted you guys to know I was back. And I'm going to leave it here. And I'm going to unpack all my Witchdoctor paraphernalia that makes me a higher Witchdoctor than I am right now. And I want to thank South Africa. I want to thank the traditional healers of South Africa for all the help they gave me, because half my ancestors are Khoisan from South Africa, and they require different things done for them than the Zezuru ancestors. So I really want to thank the South African Traditional Healers Association for being there for me. And I want to thank the Zimbabwe National Traditional Association and the 5 witch doctors who helped me in my ascension to the next level. Okay, tired asshole me is clocking out for now. And yeah, buy my books. Please buy my books. For goodness sake, buy my romances and let's talk about them. I might just publish a couple of more with I really want to publish The Side Chick, which is the one I wrote based on what I saw about Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's other woman. I might just publish that. Okay, alrighty. Thanks, everybody. Bye. It's good to be back.